Chetna.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Chetna Agrawal. I'm actually leading and managing Ansible Content Networking team. I work with fabulous team which actually has written, developed these collections and are shipping these collections to our community and customers, making network automation more reliable, more easy to use. How many here have actually used Ansible network collections previously? Oh, nice, cool. At least I got one or two hands. Okay. So this talk is more about making it aware of we have these collections there out there in the community to use, and maybe make your life easy for with network automation going forward. So this is a typical agenda I'll be talking about today. It's more of a process we follow to maintain these collections, release these collections out there in Galaxy and for our customers as well. So we'll talk about what actually network automation is and how it differs from traditional IT automation. I'll cover about what network collections we have, what we have developed as of now. I'll walk you through our CI/CD structure, testing and validations we do before releasing these collections, how we release these collections, the release workflow, some challenges and some trade-offs while maintaining these collections. I'll talk about some best practices and lessons I have learned leading this team from last 1.5 years maybe, and some takeaways for people who are going to write their own collections or maybe doing some community work out there which they can find it useful. So let's start with why network automation and how it differs from traditional automation. Network automation is different from traditional IT automation because network devices are very stateful. They are constantly, tracking routes and the live trafficking and sessions going out there. For example, we automate. We do like I myself as like when I started my career, I remember turning off some firewall and by mistake I broke down the whole LAN setup we had internally to work for the engineers, and everybody left that day early saying thank you to me that because of you we were able to leave early today, because there is no simple undo button to make these changes we have made irreversible. Another big difference is like a lot of compatibility matters more than new features in network automation. Why I'm saying this? Because a new shiny feature may not be very useful with network automation because like I said, making a simple ripple can break the whole network, can bring the whole network down, which nobody can afford for now. Okay, so there comes into picture our network collections. What we have done is we have incorporated a well curated collection which can be maybe a standard process to follow, that regardless of the vendors, regardless of heterogeneous devices out there, you can use these collections to write network automation for you. I can also add more to this, like going forward I'll showcase you what all collections we have and how they are enhancing capabilities irrespective of Ansible core releases. We are trying to maintain our own releases, giving early access to vendor specific requirements and features. So this is typically a network collection looks like. What we have in it are different modules written, plugins and roles. Modules, basically we have written some modules to talk about all the network devices specific OSs that can be command line or API calls for each operating system as the network operating system for each devices differs. There are plugins written which actually helps to communicate to these network devices, including connection, terminal, transport handling using CLI, maybe APIs, netconf. All these are part of our plugin collections. We have written some roles. I'll talk about one of those for just to bundle the tasks together and make a repetitive checklist out of it. So why all this matter? Why I'm talking so much about network collections like this? Because scaling network automation is quite difficult because the consequences are very real. We can't afford network downtime anytime. So, and there are dozens of environment, dozens of collections, and definitely a shared Ansible core which sits behind, which keeps breaking changes. So that level of scale increases the complexity and also leads to a big blast radius of any mistake that can cause network to be down. Uh, Quality and safety, of course, it matters because we can't let critical bugs, play with our network, and a single regression can definitely break your modules and all those things. Velocity is something I want to talk more about because with lot of changes coming with different Ansible core versions, different network devices out there, team needs velocity to manage these collections. We have to provide extensive support with new upcoming devices and of course new Ansible core versions coming together. Finally, like I said, compliance and trust matter more than shiny features in network automation because they need to be safe and predictable. So these collections we have written are like upstream. They are all upstream. Whatever we write, it's there on the Ansible Galaxy to use. We definitely have a downstream version for our customers where we provide Red Hat support and SLAs for that. Why they both are needed and they coexist together is whatever we release on community is it's immediately available. You guys can help test, use extensively, give us rapid feedback that helps improvement, and we have GitHub-based support for that. Downstream, definitely network needs a lot of support and lot of maybe subscription-based model is there for our customers to make use of it. Maybe it's more about having compatibility guarantees and vendor-specific features and like customer support present for those things. This is typical collection structure we follow, and it's out there. All the collections written, if they are standardized and they follow this kind of structure, it helps maintaining them, on a longer run. So we have all the modules, connection plugins, roles, playbooks, tests, and metadata and documentation all version together under one structure. And this is a standard structure we have followed for all our collections there. And these are the collections we have. Ansible NetCommon mostly contain all the common utilities and basic automation primitives across vendors, so they can be used for different vendors out there. Then we have vendor-specific collections written that are for Cisco, iOS, NXOS, Juniper, Arista. And we have roles written, so network backup is one of those where we have actually written roles to automate and configure network backup and ensure network state. So I'll talk about this more. I'll showcase how we are doing our releases and how we are maintaining, how we are publishing these versions of our releases to Galaxy. But basically, a typical release PR looks like, where we update the upcoming version in our Galaxy ML file. And then we make changelog entries depending upon what kind of releases we are making. Maybe it can be a minor change, it can be a bug fixes, it can be a breaking change release leading to a major release as well. This is the process we follow. I'll showcase it. We create a release tag and then we publish the collection to the Galaxy and Hub as well. So this is a typical workflow we follow. We have our feature branch created on Devil. Then there is Ansible team that does reviews and approve changes. We run extensive sanity and integration and unit test on those PRs because these tests are very important. Given that I'll showcase how extensively we are running this test across all the Python and Ansible versions to maintain the quality of the code. So basically, these are the tests we run. Sanity actually covers the lengths and syntax failures. Unit test covers most of the workflow changes that has been part of the PR. Before merging those PR, ensuring that the individual parts are not, breaking any integration before integration. And then we have end-to-end integration tests written for each and every collection we have. so that we validate end-to-end functionality and compare and confirm that interoperability is realistic and in the network environments. But in spite of all these, it's not that those collection doesn't break in real world. But these are the basic reasons why we see those collections failing. Inconsistent structure, lack of standardization. Like I mentioned, having a standard structure across the collection helps maintaining those, given the extensive versions and vendors out there for the network automation. Testing coverage, like I mentioned, with shared core, different devices, different versions for those devices, a lot of changes goes in that requires like extensive testing. We need to have very clear release guidelines so that it keeps the confusion away. And of course, above all of this, there's need of high-level documentation, which gives like clear usage of how the collections are being used and maintained. So this is what we follow. Like there is a definition of done which we follow to release our collections. We make sure that we run all the sanity unit integration tests. There is a proper documentation attached with each and every collection. If you go and check those collection repositories, they are well documented and with all the data, metadata available there. Of course, we try to have all the deprecation notice coming published out there before making those changes. I'll talk about it more, like maintaining these plugins, these modules is a very extensive work. So definitely with upcoming Ansible releases, core releases, or upcoming changes, there are a lot of deprecation that happens maybe in future, like we are deprecating Paramiko from Ansible core soon. So in future there will be deprecations around maybe Python versions coming up. So these notices needs to be published beforehand so that it helps people adapt to those changes coming up. The changelog update, like I mentioned, version bump, and the vendor sign off, that reviews needs to be very extensively done before we release those collections. Like I mentioned, adapting to the breaking change. So there would be more deprecations coming in future as well going forward. Like I mentioned, Paramiko being deprecated soon, we will drop the support for that. So understanding those deprecation timeline is important as user of these collections. Testing against multiple Ansible versions, core versions is something that needs to be done extensively. Use version constraints. Maybe I would suggest that updating requirement YAML file time to time with supported versions. Monitoring release notes and changelog is of course something very much important to see if there is some breaking changes and new releases coming up with new requirements. All this gives enough time for a network automation engineer to plan some migration strategies coming up. Last not but the least, the communicating changes to the user, definitely on the forums, on our community. We are trying our best to get those communications out early so that there's transparency and there's communication happening around those upcoming changes. And providing update guides. Like I mentioned, having extensive documentation, very well user-friendly, step-by-step process to upgrade to the newer versions, new collections, is something that is very much necessary. So before I move to takeaway, I'll try to quickly showcase you folks. Will I able to move this?
Chat now, we've got about 3-4 minutes left.
Okay. I actually wanted to showcase the release workflow, but let me see if we can quickly walk through. Okay, I'll just quickly showcase these. We'll fast forward it if needed. So uh, basically these are the tests. I was talking about all the collection tests we run. So these are the collection tests there out there. I'll try to showcase faster maybe. So these are the tests we run. This is our basic workflow. We have code coverage using Sonar Cloud. Then we have Ansible linked. There's Sanity. There is unit test. And above all this, there are integration tests as well that are run against the collections. The code for these tests is out there in the community, so you can definitely go and check that as well out. Due to the time constraint, I'm just moving ahead. So Ansible, Lint, Sanity, all these tests are run against all the Python versions we support, all the Ansible core versions we support. So starts from Python, I guess 2.11 and then runs till core versions from 2.15 to latest 2.20 as well. Like I mentioned, this is our sanity matrix, all the versions that are being tested against, the stable versions from, sorry, it's 2.16, my bad. And similar way, there are integration tests that are run on demand. So this is something I just triggered this test for one of the PR that was waiting to run. So we have CML instances running for our integration tests out there. So like I said, the code is available on GitHub. You can go and check the Ansible Content Action repo for more details on the tests written out there. I really wanted to show the PR I recently merged and released. I guess it's hanged. It's hanged. I guess I try to get the repo here out. Scan. It's not moving.
Okay. Okay, we're at time now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I can show. I actually recorded how we do our releases, what changes we make to what metadata we change before we do the release, prep for the release, and actually push the release to Galaxy. And I could have shown you those updates, but I don't know why it's not working as of now. But if anybody wants to talk about our network collections and how we can make it better for you folks, you can reach me out. I'm right here. So thank you. Any questions anybody have before I move ahead?
Quick question maybe.
Yeah.
So you have feature branches, for how long they exist? Like
Uh,
a few weeks, few months?
Until after merge,
No, since creation till merge. What's the timeline?
they can exist for as long as the reviews goes by and
I
they
mean,
can get
typically
merged.
like it's a week when you merge.
Some feature branches are open from quite long time in the community, so maybe years as well, depending upon the reviews going forward. Or if we can't merge, then we definitely put it as can't get merged.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.